fellow Patriots, good morning again. Hope y'all are doing well. For those of you that give me the honor of occasionally reading some of my work, you may notice I haven't been posting much lately. I'm kind of backed off. I've got some issues that I'm dealing with, some health issues. I'm okay. Everything's good. But I think I maybe let myself get a little too far down a couple of these rabbit holes by myself, and lost some perspective, some objectivity, I guess. Lost my sense of humor, and that sucks. So I'm taking a little break. I'm staying in touch, but I just need to get away from all of it on Facebook for a while and see what other stuff I can get into, and it's all going good. But I was last night, I was reading and looking at stuff for a little while, and I ran across a poem. Y'all know I have a little weakness for poetry. And I read it as a poem. I recognized it pretty quickly what it was, and then I saw this little history thing about this. So it's originally it started out as a hymn. It was a camp meeting hymn. It was called "O Brothers, Will You Meet Us on Canaan's Happy Shore." It evolved eventually into a song called John Brown's Body. Because of that, I'm thinking that this song, that "Oh Brothers," the camp meeting, was probably a Revolutionary War type version of this song. And then we went to John Brown's Body, the famous abolitionist. And then in 1861, which, if I'm remembering correctly, was just after the Civil War started, Julia Ward Howe, the wife of some government official, wrote a poem for the Atlantic Monthly. They gave her $5 for the poem, which I'm thinking, man, back then she's making pretty good money for a poem. But anyway, apparently she didn't title the poem. That newspaper or whatever it was, that publication, titled it for her, and they called it "The Battle Hymn of the Republic." Right, y'all don't fuss at people when you're in church and they're, singing your hymns and whatnot, and some folks don't sing as good as others, and you don't say anything about it. And I just feel like I want to sing this because it kind of struck me how relevant it is to the two wars that we're fighting today. The war of men and women, and then the spiritual war. And y'all know what I'm talking about, so I'm not even going to go in there. I'm just going to do this. If you want to turn it off, no offense. I'll probably turn it off myself. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call retreat. He is sifting out the hearts of men before his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be jubilant, my feet. My God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Oh, glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, God help us, if we have to die, let us die to make men free. While God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Oh, glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. There are two wars being fought today, my friends. I believe this. I believe it's true. The war we all know about was the war we declared back in November 2016. The War of the American Constitution. That's what I call it. The War of the American Constitution. And then the other is the spiritual war. And I don't even need to go into that. Anybody that believes it has already seen all the parallels of the earthquakes and the volcanoes and the tsunamis and all the terrible behaviors of mankind in general. The parallels are really apparent if you look. One thing I'm concerned about, I believe that we, the people, are on the right side of this war. I'm proud to stand with you. I think we've lost our country has almost lost its moral center, and that's what we got to have back. We also need a government not to tell us what to do, but just to give us some guidelines about how we should act and live with each other. Our government was never intended to provide for our financial security. Hey, I'm glad I'm getting a Social Security check, but come on, folks. I started work when I was 14, and I was forced out of work when I was 60. Not that I was ready to go yet, but I paid into it, man. I paid my taxes, I paid my Social Security, I did all of that stuff. So I get a little check every month, and I don't feel guilty about it. But that's not really what the government was ever intended to do. It wasn't intended to make sure that we were financially secure. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying it wasn't here to tell us how to live our lives. That's not what the government is for. It's here to make sure that we lived our lives in a moral, respectable way. And that's a big word. That's what we're missing today, is the respect. See, it seems that there are a lot of us that believe we have the right to live however we want to live, and we're content with that. But then there's so many of us that believe they have a right to live however they want to live, but that's not good enough. See, they want to live however they want to live, but then they want to come over and tell us that we got to not just accept what they're saying, but we got to change our ways to satisfy them. Well, that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen, but that's what's trying to take place. So now, see, I need to end this. I'm 13 minutes into this already. So now, here's what I'm afraid of. We're so strong. We are strong. We're so strong. If this breaks out, folks, please, please, please be reluctant. When it comes to war, don't be excited about it. If it has to happen, it has to happen. And if it happens, go, my brothers, go. Do what needs to be done. Be swift and be thorough and get the job done. But all I'm asking you is remember where that trigger is so that you can stop using it when it's no longer necessary. Okay, that's all I'm worried about. Let's not have lynch mobs. Let's not, even though we have organized militias all over the world, all over the country, let's not go off on our own. The only way you win a war is with coordinated efforts, okay? Because we'll wind up fighting each other in 6 months if we don't go that way. So, all right, I'm 14 minutes. I got to get out of here. I've said what I said. I hope I've given you something to think about. I'm sure you'll get a good laugh out of the feeble attempt at singing, but I had a point, folks. I was trying to make a point. God, I love America. I know you do too. My name is Rudy Seiler, and I'm just saying. Thank y'all, and thank you for your prayers.